Now, before I get started fully finishing these, just wanted to show you what they look like once I start getting them profiled off. I mean, this hasn't been sanded yet, but it's already to its final size as far as the square dimensions go. Another thing I discovered, which isn't that brilliant, but as far as something square goes, versus just rounding it off, which this obviously isn't completely rounded. I kept some of the flats on it, but the sizing itself, how it feels, and the actual size of it. While these are identical in width and side to side, when you take a flexible measure, which your hand would feel, like this one. Let's see, let me stretch it tight, where the silver part is here. Basically, without any kind of sign, doing this really tight. It's about 6 3/4. Now the same box, without it being rounded yet, which I didn't, I left it like this so I could show you. It's harder to get the exact measurement here. You're looking at 7.5. I got it tight. So 3/4 of an inch is quite a lot in your hand, as far as hand feel, and even in the pocket. I put this in my pocket obviously because it's got the edges on it. I mean, they feel a lot different. I mean, this feels vastly smaller, and when in fact it is the same size. I'll measure the square, it's easier. It's about shade more than 2 1/4, and about 1 1/4. Yeah, it's almost dead on 1 1/4. Height, it's about 3 5/8. I'll make each one of these manually. These aren't done on a CNC. I'm spinning the handles with my hands and watching everything with my eyes. So they're very time consuming. I'll show you the inside of these. These aren't finished yet, obviously. I mean, there it is. It's milled out just like the other one. And as you can see, which this is kind of difficult to do on these, but I like it. When I profile these, I make sure I made this small enough so it sort of cuts into the door. So the door actually gets rounded off too. It just makes it feel a lot better. And as you can see down inside here, there's a lot of steps. Like you got the step here that goes around. That's for the door catch slide. And this has to be precisely milled for this to do this. As you can see, there's no magnets in here yet or anything. I mean, these don't move. I mean, these are milled to a super tight tolerance. Another thing, a lot of people I see using battery trays, which, I don't use those. I hate those things. They don't belong in something like this, and it's a lot more work not to use them, but they're great for general things. But I mean, if you're gonna make something like this, you need to figure out a better way, or at least something that's a lot more custom. So, and I get a piece of Delrin, and then I do a lot of machining, and end up with these. There's a lot of machining on this little contact, and then these are beveled exactly to fit down inside here They just slide down in. Actually, this is the bottom one. They fit just down inside here. And then I got a countersink hole there. It's so, you know, you see as little as the screw head as possible. It's down inside this tube. And then that's what holds it in. It's a stainless steel screw, which you don't ever have to fool with. And I had to make provisions for the magnet, which I use huge magnets in these. About the only thing these have in common with a box mod is they're square. But, you know what I mean? The rest of it, you know, doesn't apply. There's, you know, they don't. I mean, obviously there's, you know, higher end stuff, but I'm talking about the stuff that's shaped in a square that's, you know, your lower end. But that would be about it. SX350J, spring-loaded 510, and magnetic door, same as before. Let's see, it's all machined. These inserts are chrome steel, so the magnet picks them up, obviously. When you're putting these batteries in, it's just put them in even. You don't jam the end down because they're not going to go. These are tight fit, you know, so we don't lose contact and stuff. So just push it in even like that, and go bang. It's in. You can see it's firing up. See, it's a temp chip. One of these babies on here. Make sure you, every time you change an atomizer, make sure it's cool, and you hit the up and down button to lock these resistances in. This is what causes a lot of problems. This one's at 0.262, and the reason is I am on temp control, but if you notice, 0.262 is pretty high because on nickel, which I'm not using nickel. I'm on titanium, which that's a whole nother story. I like that way better. It looks like with the tank on it. It's a 5 milliliter limo, so it's a pretty big tank. 28.5 spring-loaded 510. So you get a big Addy on there. Of course, it has a $26,650 battery, and these work great. I've been using that prototype that I have in another video ever since the day I made that video. That's the only mod I use. I use it every day. And I had 3 of these batteries on rotation. And as you can see, these are E-Fests, which, you know, some people don't like them, but, you know, they fit in here. So, and I know they work great. These are great for longevity in these. But there are a few different ones. This is the purple one. They make another purple one too, but this one is the one that's got more milliamp hours. This is a 4200, 40 amp continuous. This one's the one to get, because this is what they're measured for. So, and I know these work good because I got, like I said, I got 3 on rotation. I bought them 2 at one place and 1 at another, and they're all identical as far as longevity, because I'm using the joule counter, and you know, a couple puffs different between each battery usually. I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating, but you know, it's so close I don't even notice it. But yeah, those work good. And the the red wire is the positive side. I didn't mark the inside of these because, you know, I didn't want to engrave it in because, you know, I just didn't want to do it. And I sure as didn't want to put stickers in here because, you know, these shouldn't have stickers in them. This is not the kind of mod. So, positive goes up. And they're flat tops, flat top batteries. You can see the OI is machined in. It's deep. So, and I changed these a little bit. These are, if you looked at the other video, you know what this is. It has double-sided sticky on the bottom, 3M VHB. It's like 80 pounds per square inch. You know, it's not gonna pull off of anything because I use it for other stuff I make. It's still aluminum, but I did put a rubber pad on the top, and I changed the dowel pin to Delrin, so it doesn't rattle. You know, the other one really didn't, but you know, why not just change it? That's my thoughts. You know, just alleviate it all. And then as you can see, there's that hole in the bottom. It's still chamfered, and I sort of chamfered the top of this a little bit. And these are blind holes, so then the bottom of that is a blind hole, meaning you can't push something all the way through there. So you're not jamming anything up into the chip. It ends right there. It's solid metal. So don't worry about getting anything in there because you can't. And here's it slides right on there. And then what you do is obviously you mount this in your car or wherever you want to mount it. Or you don't have to use it, you know, but you have a choice. That's a 1/4 inch pin sticking out of there. And when you get in your car or whatever, you know, instead of throwing it in the wherever, you just put it on top of that. And it's stuck there. And then when you want to use it, just lift it up, put it back down. Simple as that. As far as I know, I invented this, so, I mean, I don't know. And there's the titanium clip, so you can clip it to yourself. I'm gonna give you an Allen wrench. If you don't want to use this clip, just unscrew these, and you can either leave just the holes, or you can put these screws back in. It's safe to put them back in. I would put them back in, you know, that way you don't lose them, and it blocks the holes, but it's up to you. Well, thanks for watching my video. I hope you found it interesting. Thanks.